Good evening, everyone. Mr. White, my name is Bruce Solomon. I'm the Associate Director of Community Relations for the Comptroller of the City of New York, William C. Thompson, Jr. I'm sure you're aware of our press conference yesterday on the steps of Tweed. Okay?
I heard it from my office.
Okay. Well, I just want to let everybody here know that Comptroller Thompson held a press conference on the steps of Tweed yesterday. Our office put forward a report, and the report was entitled, Powerless Parents, How the New York City Department of Education Blocks Parent Influence in Local School Governance. Well, I came here this evening to listen to everything going on about the issue. And I've heard tremendous concern from the community. The one thing that I haven't heard is that any of the answers that you've given them have been satisfactory. And yeah, my question is...
Sorry.
Thank you. No. My question is, you made a statement earlier that the differentiation between putting in a high school or a school of grades 6 through 12 would not be appropriate, as opposed to adding on a 9th grade and then building from there, because then it would not require children coming in the 6th grade going through to the 12th grade. What if, and you also said that the students coming into the school would have first preference to decide whether or not they wanted to stay on through the 12th grade, correct?
To apply to the high school.
Right. What would happen if a majority, or even all of the students, were so happy with the school and the program that they did want to stay through the 12th grade? You would then be faced with another overcrowding situation, wouldn't you?
Well, I think you've sort of gotten at the heart of what I was saying before, which is that if you set up a school that the grade configuration, what we call it, is a 6 through 12 school, then yes, you could have a really horrible overcrowding situation if you said to 6th graders, we're giving you a school that goes through 12th grade, and therefore you would expect, logically, they would say, great, I'll be here through 12th grade, because they will be happy with it. We can't have that, unfortunately. I wish we had a bigger building, we could do it, but we just don't. And so the answer that we think best allows us not to run into that problem is to say to youngsters, you're entering 6th grade in this school, which means that if you're in 8th grade in this school, ultimately, you will have priority to attend this high school. But it's different because it's not a guarantee. And the reason it's important that we can't make an absolute guarantee is because there are simply too many youngsters that would attend the 6th grade to guarantee a seat in the high school too. Or else we'll have the problem that you described.
So then, by virtue of the way that's set up, you would then be excluding some of the students who may want to continue in that school from doing so.
I think you and I both know, and I know that the comptroller is well aware of this from his experience running the Board of Education way back when, that this is a city where there are many choices, and families and youngsters make choices. And involved in choices is ranking your options. Now, under this mayor and this chancellor now, 85% of youngsters receive one of their top 3 choices. But it's a choice process, and not every single choice can be honored at the top level. So what you're describing is not a phenomenon that's unique to this community. It's a phenomenon that is citywide. And you know what? We should all be, and I hate to say it this way, but so lucky that we have such great schools, that we have more people than the school can even hold who wants to go there. When we have that problem in every community, I'll know we're really on the right track.
Yes, sir. Did you have a question?
It's me, right?
Yes.
I have a point to bring out, actually 2 of them.
2 more questions, then we're going to go to the rest of the panel.
These are little kids that are being proposed to come into IS 278, K through 5, correct?
K through 1.
Excuse Excuse me?
Okay, so
All
5 to
right,
6 years.
okay, even more to my point. The thing is, when these kids come in, are you planning to renovate the bathrooms or build new bathrooms for these kids? You are.
It's actually a question of the number of fixtures. There might have to be a slight lowering in a couple of the toilet fixtures, but the number of fixtures is really the question. And the school does have adequate bathroom capacity for the
You're
youngsters.
going to do this for a group that's coming in for 2, maybe 3 years, correct?
Those adjustments can be made without much cost.
All right. You know that we're in one of the serious recessions since the 1930s. Depending on who you speak to, they're calling it a depression. Now, there's no definition for a depression, and the statistics are looked at after the fact. How are you going to explain to every taxpayer in this room of the expenditures that you're going to outlay to renovate and then put back after this group leaves?
The answer is that the expenses are minimal. And two, the way I explain it to taxpayers who are holding us accountable for taxpayer money is that we would be doing it to honor the choices of taxpayers who are asking us. And by the way, the proposals this evening have been go out and buy a new building, which we ultimately plan on doing, or the Hebrew Language Academy does. But when we have public resources available, we use them it's incumbent upon us to ask, should we honor the desires of taxpayers in terms of how we use those resources? So I think what we're doing is actually fully in compliance with what it is that you're saying.
And you also
Back there, the woman in the pink, is it, what, a joke? Go ahead.
I have a 5-year-old, which will be attending kindergarten in September. How come, you said everyone's given the opportunity to attend the strong school. How come I wasn't sent an application for my son?
Well, I don't know. I don't know where you reside or but let me say this. It is across a district of literally tens of thousands of kids. It is not an easy thing to drop one in every single mailbox. But I think the answer, one thing that we notice about this school is that its applicants are coming from an incredibly diverse array of communities in this community school district in a way that reflects an attempt, not at serving anyone specifically, but an attempt at serving a very, very wide array of community members and of taxpayers.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for your participation. We're going to excuse John White from the Department of Education. You have an opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Parks Department, the MTA, we have DOT, buildings, NYPD. Don't run for the door all at once, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John, very much.